Guys, I'm going to do a complete video from start to finish. So me setting up the camera, going out and shooting, and then editing the photos on Lightroom. So I got my camera here. I'm about to put it into the housing. This is the back plate, the mounting plate. So this, other way around. So I've just put some tape under there to keep the camera secure when it gets tightened so it doesn't slip. And I just use a 10-cent coin to tighten it. The camera sticks out to get the buttons on my back plate. It's just these little things you learn down the road. I'm going to use manual focus, 1 meter, close to infinity, because I want to get an over-under shot of Surfers Paradise. So this is my dome, 8-inch dome housing. So I just make sure the seal's all on there. Yep. I tend to put this on first so I can check all my seals. I like to assemble my housing here at home rather than by the beach because I generally forget. Sometimes you forget to do things. That's pretty tight. You got to make sure it's really tight. Also. Okay, put that down there to protect the element. Camera's on. We want to plug in the trigger. Slides in like that. Make sure the camera's on. Push the seal in, make sure that's all aligned. So that's looking pretty good. Just take a photo. So I just want to press play, make sure my playback's right. Okay, that's all good. Put the back plate on. So the Aquatech housing works really well. Diagonally cross that down, make sure they're all tight. There you are, ready to rock and roll. Okay, so the reason I'm going after work, I don't normally shoot in the afternoons, but today we've got westerly winds, and for the east coast of Australia, that's perfect. It's offshore. And so I've got maybe another 2.5 hours before sunset. There's a lot of cloud around, so I might get a little bit of sun. I need sun to get the shot that I'm after. So yeah, let's go. Okay, my dudes, here we are. We are here. Sun's looking good. It's offshore. It's looking really, really good. Yeah, I'm just going to set up now. Generally with the dome port, I spit on it. I saw this in the Aquatech video. They just said spit on it, let it dry just before you go out, and then you dunk it, take a shot. And that's how you get your shots. Another piece of equipment I'm going to be using is this. This is the Kudos light. There you go. So as the light fades, I'm going to try to get an over-under shot. Use this light to lighten up the bottom, to lighten up the underwater. And this is the GoPro housing that I put on top. So that just clips in there. And then also with the floaty, I bite on it. So that's how I get all those sort of point of view shots. Yeah, let's do it. I've also got my flippers. These are Redley fins, they're really old. Then, what else we got? And then, obviously put a leash. I just chuck a leash on here. Just a bodyboarding leash. Looking good. Let's do the settings. Should have set this up before. Run through these settings quickly. Got manual setting. I'm gonna maybe push you to 1600. I'm liking 1600 at the moment. F9's good to start with. And let's see what the light's like with that. Really, really dark. Let's try the light. Yeah, that's okay. You know, let's try that. I'll play around in the water with it and see how we go. so that was an okay session. It was a bit hard to get the right settings for that sort of light. The water wasn't as clean as I was hoping for. It was quite dirty from the rain. I thought it would be good. The wind was good. There were small waves, just shooting small shore break. But we'll take the photos home and see how they look on the computer, and I'll go through a few with you. They're not going to be great, but let's go see how they look. Alright guys, so I just did my session at Surfers Paradise. I've come back here to my house. I've taken the camera out, loaded the memory card up, imported all the photos into Lightroom. Then I've also washed my housing, made sure I washed it with fresh water to get all the salt water out. And so that's ready for the next session. So jumping onto the computer now. So this is Lightroom. If you've never used it before, it's really good for editing photos. I also know Photoshop, but this one just picks it out the camera and then you can develop your raw images really well. Okay, so I've picked this photo. I'd go through all my photos down here, but this is the one I really sort of like because you can see a bit of the contours underneath the water. It's not too bad of a line here. You want that as, you know, definitive as possible. And you've got the sun flare, and you've got the Seoul building, which is the biggest building in... No, that's the Q1, sorry. You've got the Q1 skyline in the Surfers Paradise skyline here on the Gold Coast. So first thing I do is I'd adjust my exposure. So I have a look at my histogram here, make sure everything is sort of as centered as possible. So then as I move it, I'm overexposing it by 0.6. You don't want to overexpose, change your raw files by more than one stop, because that'll just be too much. That's the sort of limitations of the raw files. So yeah, so now you can see my histogram's pretty much gone to the right a bit. So that's in the highlights and in the whites. And then back here, there's no blacks and shadows, so I could just pull back the blacks a bit. And you can see the image starts to come to life a bit. So I want it about there. And then you can see this bit here, the sun flare is really overexposed, so I can bring that back with my highlights and just bring that back a bit as well, like that. And so you're getting to see a better image. So you see the histogram's a bit more balanced. So with the shadows, let's see what the shadows can do. So the shadows darkens up underneath a bit, which is fine. I'll show you what I'll do next. And the whites, yeah, let's take the whites back up a bit to about there. So yeah, you're getting a bit of an over Photoshop file. But once I clean up this water, so the water was really green, so I want to change that green. I just select here, I select a gradient filter, and I do that. Just do it there, and I move it up to the center line. There. Okay, so we've got our gradient filter here, so you can adjust half of the image. So it's really underexposed underneath, so I'll just adjust that, make that a bit brighter, like so. And then I can also go here. I might move this up a bit actually. There. Okay, then I also go into color. So that's looking good, and then I just want to change the color, so I come... Oh, what the fuck? I don't know what's going on there. So I come down here and I can just go like this. I can adjust the color here. So I want it a bit blue. What's the hue? So you can change the hue to blue. You can add a bit of saturation, make it like really blue, or luminance. So that's looking a bit better. I like that. I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm pretty happy with that image. And you can take the saturation and you can adjust clarity too. So clarity is really nice. It starts making things pop out a bit more. And there you go. And that's how I Photoshop this image. I'd adjust every other image accordingly. So yeah, if you found this helpful, I'm still learning a lot about Lightroom, and I do tutorials, and that teaches me a lot. But yeah, I hope this gives you some understanding on the start to finish process of making an image. So yeah, subscribe to my channel, thumbs up this video, and I hope to see you out in the water one day. Ew.